What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about stave churches in Norway. I actually didn't even know that churches were an important part of Norwegian history or Norwegian culture. I don't really associate churches with Norway. But looking at this image now of what is called a stave church, I have to say, it is beautiful. And it's also so Norwegian somehow. Like, I didn't know these things existed. I didn't know about churches in Norway. But this looks so Norwegian. And honestly, what a fascinating, just architectural style. I've never seen anything like it. And it's beautiful. And I wanted to learn more about it. So I found some things I wanted to take a look at, including a video of a famous stave church called Borgund. But first, I want to just get the basics of stave churches in Norway by looking at this resource, which is going to tell me a little bit about it. A testimony of 900 years carved in timber. Wow, dramatic. No wonder these mythic churches continue to mesmerize people. Truly, they truly are beautiful. They look out of like a fairy tale, like a storybook or something. Fascinating design, really. Just imagine the time it took to make these intricately carved details. Oh yeah, the picture here? Oh my god. That is actually insane. That is actually beautiful. Wait. This building is like a work of art. Breathe in the scent of tarred wood when you step inside. Look for signs of the Norse gods, old gods, that often coexist with the Christian god in the oldest churches. I was wondering about that. What are these churches for? What religion in Norway? And it looks like Norse gods, old gods, which I'm not sure what that means exactly, but that's dramatic. And Christian. They also have something to do with Christian religion as well. Interesting. Very interesting. This is a subject of Norway I've never really learned about. There were once more than 1,300 of these wonders in Norway. Sadly, they disappeared one by one to be replaced by warmer, bigger, and more modern churches. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? And you don't really realize it at the time, how historical and how beautiful things are when it's not been so long. Like, Norway apparently tore down a lot of these older churches a long time ago to build new churches that were better, which makes sense. But then in 2023, we look back and we're like, dang it, why did we tear down all those beautiful, original stave churches? Oh well. Thanks to one passionate artist, the last 28 churches were saved at the last second. There's only 28 of these left. And somehow they were saved or preserved by someone who decided that they were worth saving. This sounds like a really interesting history. Thank God some of these survived till now. Wow. The Norwegian stave churches are the oldest preserved wooden churches in Christianity. The oldest wooden churches in Christianity on the planet. Most of the stave churches were actually quite plain. Some had elaborate design and complex carving. Some of these are insane. Like, actually incredible. Truly. Viking heritage. During the Middle Ages, immense stone cathedrals were constructed in many parts of Europe. In Norway, a similar technique was used for the building in wood, although on a smaller scale. So in the Middle Ages, yeah, in a lot of places in Europe, it's famous for having giant, massive, beautiful cathedrals made of stone and glass. And in Norway, they had to use what was available or what they wanted to, which is wood. And I have to say, I've never seen a wooden church. There is something oddly enchanting about it. Like, it's so different than a cathedral made of stone. This is It almost looks more in touch with nature somehow, like just how like Norway is. It's so appropriate and looks like an amazing craftsmanship. The church's wooden doors and fanals were often beautifully carved. The decorations feature an intriguing combination of Christian motifs and what is often assumed to be pre-Christian Viking themes. Wow. The excellent wooden building techniques and wooden carving traditions of the Vikings used in ships and houses was developed and made better seen in the Stave churches. There's several types of Stave churches. They all have corner posts and timber. Oh my word. And it looks amazing in the winter too. Yeah, I love it. I love how it's made of wood, actually. That is awesome. I have another thing here, which is going to go over some really interesting facts about Stave churches. Stave churches are made of wood. Even the nails. They can actually be taken apart. Parts can be replaced, then put back together. The whole church could be moved. The entire church could be taken apart. Well, just because it can be taken apart does not mean you would want to do that. That sounds like a real headache. But it's all wood. Even the nails are made of wood. That's pretty cool and very functional that you can actually repair parts of it like they would back in the day. Stave churches were only made with axes, no saws. How Viking. How incredibly Viking. They were only made using axes, of course. Saws appeared in 1550. Wow, such a long time ago. It means Stave churches were built with axes. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Stave church literally means pillar church. What does that mean? Stave churches have in common they all have staves or main pillars. That's what stave means. Is that right? Pillars. That's what the word means. Okay. They're made with pillars? Like in these photos. Yeah, tons of pillars. Oh, it's beautiful. You can almost see the original tree trunk these pillars are made out of. I really love wooden craftsmanship, and discovering today that Norway has this entire like old church tradition that's based around wood craftsmanship is such a treat, honestly. Wow, there is nothing like this in the United States and our history. What else? Stave churches can be found only in Norway, or almost. Stave churches used to be all around the Nordic world. In Norway, from an estimated 1,000 to 2,000 Stave churches were built. Only 29 have survived. Oh my god. One of them was sent to Poland? One of the churches was actually torn down. Like, they said you can tear them down. And it was moved to Poland? Okay, that's nice of Norway to share the Stave church. Oh, wow. 28 are located in Norway. Wow. Only 28. Number 5, girl power to keep the trolls out. As any church, Stave churches are always oriented in a similar way, with the altar pointing east, as the evil comes from the cold north with its trolls. Women used to sit on the left side to keep them out. Wow, okay, gotta keep the trolls out. It is Norway, after all. Narrow doors ensure you are coming in alone. Whether the priest's, women's, or men's entrance, they have very narrow doors. For one reason, no one could take the devil by their side into church. That's why the doors are all this thin? Man, you have to be the right size or you can't even fit into these churches. And it's so that you can't have the devil walk in with you. Okay. That's kind of cool, actually, the sentiment. Cover up the stinking rich. What does that mean? To get closer to God, the wealthy people were buried under the church, resulting in a horrible stench. After the Reformation, the Lutheran rid the churches of their rich ornaments. Okay, so they stopped burying dead people under them? Oh my god, the smell. Are they lit incense as well to cover up the smell? Oh my god. Interesting fact. The carvings on and inside the Stave churches are a mix of Norse mythology and Christianity. Yeah, that's so interesting. I didn't even know there was anything like that in the world. But it's Norway, so it's Norse mythology and Christianity as well. Very cool. Fascinating insights into Norwegian culture. In many Stave churches, dragons and snakes, standing for evil, are sculpted, as the Vikings used to fight evil with evil, dragon against dragon. So there's oh my god, that is awesome. The craftsmanship is not only skillful, but looks awesome. There's dragons carved into the Stave churches. The church is made of pine, and its pillars are made of a 200-year-old tree. 200-year-old trees! Oh my. Wow. Stave churches are reminiscent of ships. Oh, of Viking ships? Wait, that's awesome. After the Viking Age, Norwegians had a long tradition of building in wood. Gazing up in a Stave church, the roof construction is reminiscent of a hull of a ship. It is. It actually is. I don't know much about ships, but even I can tell. That's like the hull or bottom of a ship. This is so cool. These Stave churches are actually awesome. Oh my god. It's a miracle the Stave churches are still standing. Do yourself a favor and visit them. Yeah, why? How did 29 of them even get saved? I'm wondering. Huh. Wow. That's so cool. The Stave churches are something else. Just visually, not even knowing anything about them. They are totally their own design. Their own unique culture of Norway is expressed in the construction of these. Like, I've never seen something that looks like this. And the wood really puts it over the edge. Okay. I also have a little video here about the Borgund Stave Church. I believe a very, very, very famous Stave church in Norway I would like to learn about.
Good morning and welcome to the Norway Fjord. We are now on our way to the famous Borgund Stave Church, which lies approximately 60 kilometers from here. And right now we are at the Undredal village, which is where we found this.
Oh, is this also a Stave church? Oh, this looks like a lot more normal. Well, it's obviously painted. Honestly, I kind of like the Stave churches that look more like wood, like natural wood. That's awesome. But this is nice as well. This is more of this looks like a church actually, whereas the original Norwegian Stave churches look like a monastery, a castle almost made of wood.
Which surprisingly enough is also a Stave church, the one from Undredal. It's from 1147, so It's from the same.
1147? 1147? These churches are almost 1,000 years old? That is unbelievable. And they actually are in very, very good condition. I can't believe it.
So it's from the same period as most Stave churches, but it was reconstructed and remodeled recently.
Oh, okay. It was reconstructed and remodeled. I was like, this looks way too good to be from the 1100s. Man, it's nice, but it's also like, it's too bad the original doesn't exist, but if it's literally falling apart, you gotta. It's better to just take care of the Stave church. Okay.
That's why it looks like this, but from the inside it actually looks very similar to the other Stave churches.
Oh.
We have a nice camping area here, right next to the fjord.
Oh my god. And you can always count on Norway to have the most insane view. Fjord, the water, there's a village, and a Stave church. There is nothing like Norway. That's all I can even describe it as, how this looks. It's crazy. Huh.
And we actually did only a quick stop here. We are now heading to our main destination.
Okay. So I think he's going to Borgund Stave Church. Oh, he's actually going through I learned about this tunnel in Norway. Like the longest tunnel. Wow. Wow. Okay, look at this. Man, oh, it actually has a like cemetery built around it as well. And it's located again in the most crazy beautiful looking area. Just all of Norway always looks beautiful. I shouldn't be surprised. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. You can look at it and just feel the history, honestly. I think I love how many tiers it has, how many levels. It goes up so tall. It really gives it like a fantasy, otherworldly look. How tall they made this. Wow.
County of Sogndfjordane, Municipality of Lærdal,
Wow.
Village of Borgund.
Borgund.
This is the Borgund Stave Church.
Wow.
The most well-preserved of all stave churches.
Oh, it's the most well-preserved. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I love it. Wow, it looks very wooden. It's in amazing condition. Is this almost 1,000 years old?
Protected by the Society for the Preservation of Ancient Norwegian Monuments. It was built in 1180.
It was built in 1180. Like 900 years ago. That's unbelievable. Man, humans are amazing.
This was built in a time where most stave churches were built, which was between the 1100s and 1350.
Oh, that's right. There used to be thousands of these. Like, imagine thousands of these all over Norway. Oh, amazing.
Right by the time the Black Plague hit Norway, which killed most of the population, and that's why the construction of new churches became stale. The church is covered by tar, which is part of the preservation process to keep the wood well preserved.
I was wondering about that. I was like, how is the wood surviving? And it's covered in tar. Oh, that's interesting.
It has runic inscriptions, Viking inscriptions. Most of the dragon heads at the top are still original.
I just realized that this is open to the public. Like, you're allowed to visit it, you're allowed to walk inside of it. That's pretty amazing. I don't think you could actually do this in the United States. Americans would probably steal stuff out of it. Americans would, like, carve their name into it, or try to take some of the wood home with them. It's really just a random thought that occurred to me. It's so nice that Norwegians are actually respectful and normal, and this can be open to the public.
800 years old, dragon statues.
Oh my god.
This church is actually nowadays a museum.
Yeah.
One of the crosses is still original.
Wow.
Some of them have been replaced, but most of its structure is still retaining its original layout. This church has been used as reference from many other stave churches. The Fent of
Wow. Seeing the inside up close is pretty special as well. And it really does look like a Viking ship.
Stave Church, which was burned in the 90s, but which has a replica nowadays, was built at the image of Borgund.
Okay.
And the one in Vik, Hopperstad Stave Church, which was in a very advanced state of decay in the late 19th century, was then recovered and rebuilt.
So this is like the most well-preserved, intact stave church. And they use it as an example when they want to rebuild old churches or refurbish them or repair them. They look towards this church.
Financed privately by one person, its restoration was heavily inspired by the one of Borgund.
Wow, nice.
There is a museum there, the Borgund Stave Church Museum. At the museum you can buy the tickets to visit the church as well.
Yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe they let you visit the church. That's awesome.
And visitors can see both the museum and the church for 80 Norwegian crowns.
Okay. The shingles, the roof is also very unique as well. All those wooden tiles makes it look like dragon scales or something. All right, and there you have it. Oh my gosh, that was by Keep Expanding, and I got to give that a like. That was great. The Stave Church, man. I didn't even know Norway had churches, these historic churches, and they are pretty mind-blowing. They are works of art, they are historical, they are old, and they are beautiful. So this was so much fun for me. Yeah, nothing in American culture, we don't have anything like this, honestly. This is so fascinating, and I feel like a lot of people don't even know, including myself, I didn't know, about this kind of these magic churches that look like wooden castles all over Norway. It's great. It's great. So I really enjoyed learning about this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and Norwegian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.